quiet afternoon in suburban Ohio. Derek Lawson, a sharply dressed black real estate agent, stood on the porch of a luxury home, scrolling through his phone. He had the key, the listing information, and two eager clients on the way. Everything was routine until it wasn't. Across the street, behind the curtains, Barbara Whitman frowned. A man she didn't recognize was unlocking the door to the old Whitaker property. No moving truck, no friendly wave. Just him. Alone. She picked up the phone. "Yes, I'd like to report a break-in." Derek, unaware of the eyes watching him, stepped inside. The house gleamed, polished hardwood, quartz counters, a faint lemony scent. He moved with ease, arranging brochures, opening blinds. This was the part he loved, picturing the life his clients might build here. He'd come far from his childhood in East Cleveland, raised by a teacher and a paramedic. He grew up hearing, "You'll have to be twice as good to get half as far." He believed it. And now, as a top agent, he saw himself as more than a seller. He was a gate opener, helping black families move into places long closed to them. Outside, tires screeched. Two police cruisers swerved into the quiet street, sirens blaring. Derek looked up. "Step outside with your hands up." Startled, Derek froze, then slowly obeyed. He stepped onto the porch, key in hand, heart pounding. "I'm a real estate agent," he said calmly, showing his ID. "I have a scheduled showing. My clients will be here any minute." The officers didn't lower their hands. "A neighbor said you were breaking in." "I have a key. You can check. We're verifying. Keep your hands visible." The air was thick with tension. Derek had done nothing wrong, but his ID didn't matter. His comm didn't matter. His tailored suit didn't matter. Only his skin did. Then a car pulled up. Jackson and Renee Thomas stepped out, his clients. Both dressed well, smiles ready. But when they saw the squad cars and Derek flanked by officers, their expressions shifted. "Derek?" Renee asked, her voice uncertain. The scene made no sense, yet it made all the sense in the world. Jackson stepped forward. "Is everything okay?" Before Derek could answer, an officer turned. "Do you know this man?" "He's our agent," Jackson said, jaw tight. "We're here to view the house." Silence. Brief, but heavy. Barbara watched from her window, arms folded. She hadn't expected other black faces to arrive. Hadn't imagined she might be wrong. "Can we confirm your appointment?" one officer asked. Derek nodded, voice steady. "My calendar's in the car." One officer followed him down the steps, hand near his holster. The other stayed, watching the couple. Inside Derek's chest, something hardened. Not fear, familiarity. He'd been here before. Not this street, but this moment. Always questioned. Always doubted. By the time the appointment was confirmed, the moment was gone. Sour. Stained. Derek knew it. So did his clients. The home was lovely, but the welcome was gone. As the officers turned away, one muttered, "Sorry. Just doing our job." Derek didn't reply. Not because he didn't hear, but because he'd heard it too many times. He turned to the couple, mustering a tired smile. "Ready for the tour?" They hesitated. Renee looked at the house. "Still want to go inside?" Jackson glanced at Derek. "Yeah, but not just for the house." Together, the three stepped over the threshold, where once appearance dictated suspicion. But now, something heavier lingered. Across the street, Barbara's phone buzzed. A message from the neighborhood group. "Anyone know what's going on at 34 Greenfield Drive? Cops just showed up." She typed back, "Just a misunderstanding. Everything's fine now." But it wasn't. Not for Derek. Not for the Thomases. And not for the others who would walk into that neighborhood carrying the same dream, only to meet the same silent wall. Inside, Derek showed them the kitchen. His voice was steady, but something behind his eyes had shifted. He'd spent years opening doors for others. But now he wondered, was the key ever enough? And what if the door opened, but the space beyond never truly welcomed them in? Before he could speak, the door across the street slammed open. Barbara marched out, arms crossed, face tight. "I did what anyone else would have done," she snapped. He was acting suspicious. Derek turned slowly. "Suspicious?" he repeated. The word was bitter on his tongue. He'd heard it before. Always dressed in concern. Always meaning the same thing. "You don't belong." Suspicious because I used a key, or because I'm black? Barbara hesitated. No answer. Arms folded tighter, she held her ground, as though fear could justify everything. Even with Derek's ID, even with Jackson and Renee beside him, the officers pressed on. "We still need to verify this with the owner," one said. Derek's jaw clenched. He dialed Mr. Harmon, the homeowner. "Derek? Everything okay?" "Not really. Police want to verify I'm the listing agent." "That's ridiculous. Put them on." The call was short. The officer returned. "He confirms you're the agent." But then, instead of stepping away, he asked, "How long have you been in real estate?" Derek inhaled slowly. Even now, proof in hand, he was being vetted. Renee's arms folded. Jackson's eyes narrowed. This wasn't just about Derek anymore. Neighbors had gathered. Some whispered. Some stared. A spectacle. Then a soft click. A phone camera. Someone was recording. A silver sedan pulled up. A woman stepped out. Press badge on her chest. A local reporter. "What's happening here?" she called. The mood shifted. The officers stiffened. Now accountability loomed. The reporter moved quickly, questions flying, notebook out. Soon the story unraveled. Barbara Whitman wasn't new to this. Her name appeared in pass calls, suspicious black delivery men, teens, dads waiting in cars. Always the same excuse, just being careful. The journalist wasn't buying it. The officers grew uneasy. What began as routine now teetered into a PR disaster. Guns drawn. A showing delayed. Based on one bias call. Derek, still holding his composure, finally said what he'd been holding back. "If I were white, we wouldn't be having this conversation." The words hit hard. Barbara flinched. "That's not true. I was just trying to protect the neighborhood." The journalist stepped forward. "What exactly did you see that was threatening? A man with a key? Or a black man where you didn't think he should be?" Barbara's mouth opened, then closed. This time, no one backed her up. Neighbors turned away. Some shook their heads. "You're free to proceed," one officer muttered. But the moment had passed. Jackson turned to Renee. "Let's go," he said quietly. "This isn't the house." Derek nodded, tight-lipped. As they walked to their car, the journalist followed. "May I get your name?" she asked. "Derek Lawson," he replied. "Real estate agent. Black man. Professional. Target." She scribbled, nodded. "I'll be in touch." That night, the video went viral. Hashtag showing while black. Barbara Whitman would be remembered, not as a vigilant neighbor, but as a symbol. And Derek? He showed another home the next day. But this time, he carried more than a key. He carried a story, and the hope that next time, he might be seen before being judged.